Welcome back, everybody, to America on the Road. Jack Nerad back with you. We're at Toyota headquarters, but not talking about the Toyota brand so much, just talking about the Lexus brand with Cynthia Tenhouse, Lexus Marketing. Big honcho in Lexus Marketing.
Little honcho.
Yeah, I think you're a big honcho. Very
it's good to be with you.
Yeah. So glad that I'm with you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
you.
that. I was there for the beginning of Lexus. Yes, I was editor of Motor Trend when Lexus competed in Import Car of the Year.
Wow.
Back in the first year of Lexus, 1989.
Mm-hmm.
So I go way back with this brand.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But one thing that has held just steady throughout is Lexus' treatment of the customer,
yes.
or as you call them, the guest.
The guest.
Yes. So tell us about that. Tell us about the heritage,
Yeah.
and then we can get into what's going on now.
Okay. Well, I love that question. So
I'm glad you could find a question there.
All right. I think I found one.
Okay.
So, like you said, in 1989, when Lexus was founded, we made a promise, and that promise was a Lexus covenant that still is very much alive today. And there were three things that we committed to. So the first was we would have the finest product. It would be the best vehicles ever built. The second was we would have the finest dealer network. And the third was that we would treat each customer as a guest in our home. And so from that, we now, really that has been the hallmark of the brand, going all the way back to 1989 when we first launched, and it's really how we make all of our decisions. And it makes it very simple when we just say what's the right thing for the guest. And it makes all the decisions easy of what's the right thing to do. So we, see it as the guest. Like if we put the guest at the center of everything that we do, then we'll win, because that is the most important thing. So that really is, I think it's a privilege to be able to have that mindset. And it's something that's defined us, and we're now in our 35th year. So
Gosh, I'm old, aren't I?
Right?
Yeah,
No, you're young. You're
young.
Right. So, and I would say that it's as true today as it was back in 1989. And all of our dealers, you'll see, they have the covenant displayed. They all know the covenant. We have covenant cards that people carry in their wallets, and it's kind of our manifesto. I would say.
Well, it really resonates with me because I wrote a book called The GR Factor.
Oh.
And it's about treating others exactly as you'd like to be treated, which is essentially what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great way just to live your life, not only to treat customers or treat, it's just a good way to treat other people. It really works through. Can
I add something? So we talk about omotenashi. That's a Japanese principle, and obviously we're a Japanese luxury automaker. So omotenashi, it's a principle of intuitive hospitality, anticipatory hospitality, and it's really this idea of trying to anticipate your needs. So I would say it goes a little bit beyond kind of that golden rule of treating people as you want to be treated. It's actually trying to imagine not how I think I would want to be treated, but how does Jack want to be treated?
Even beyond that. Even beyond that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And by anticipatory, it's just sensing what their needs will be before they even know what their needs are.
That's right. Yeah. If we can do that, then
then you've nailed it.
We've nailed it.
Yeah, and you continue to nail it.
We try.
And here's when I heard the presentation, that we come from a presentation you made, one of the things that struck me immediately was, how do you do this in this online world that kind of flattens everything, right? I mean, you have a wonderful dealership experience. You launched with that. You had, Greenfield dealers at that point, long ago, to make all that happen, and you've made that happen. But in the online world, how do you keep that going? It's got to be extremely difficult.
It's hard. I think we've always excelled with the in-person piece, and that's always easier, right, to give a really personalized experience. So you're absolutely right that it's much harder online. I think what we see is that guests, when it comes to online and truly in dealership too, I think they want things to be easy. Like there's some basic principles, right? And I would argue that even, myself, like I want things to be easy. I want to feel like I can trust, right, the brand, the process. I want transparency, which helps create that trust. And really important, and I think this is where it gets hard, is I want what I experience online. If I start online and then I go into the dealership, I want it to be a seamless handoff.
Yeah, I want to carry that with me.
Yes, right. And I don't want to have to start all over when I get into the dealership. And that's any experience I have as a consumer. If I'm online, Nordstrom's online, when I go into the store, I want it to kind of match that experience, and they know what I've already done. So we're doing a few things. One, we have Monogram for sales and service, which is online kind of digital retailing or a service where a guest can start to find inventory, work the deal. People who already own a vehicle,
which is basically dealer based, right? As opposed to
it is.
Lexus.com based.
Yeah. So you can see like that it's a Monogram when you see inventory online on our Lexus.com site, and then you go onto the dealer site and you can actually go through the Monogram process. And so we're seeing from the sales side some great results that the price that they see online is 75% of the time it's the price they walk out the door with, which is, I think, that just says there's integrity in the system, and it makes it a really easy experience for them. We're also seeing that they're only spending about 24 minutes once they walk into the dealership from start to finish, and it's because they've already started online. So that's also, people don't want to be spending 10 hours, trying to buy a vehicle in a dealership. And then we offer Monogram service where guests can schedule service online, they can pay for it, they can receive videos of the work that's been done on their car and then pay for it online. So it really kind of meets the guests wherever they are. So we can do it fully in person if you're someone that you want to come in person and do it all, or we can do it online for those guests that want to do it from the comfort of their home.
I can imagine that many of your guests, customers, still want that in-person experience. It's even though your demographic is getting younger and younger, you still have an older demographic compared to the general mass market brands, certainly. So you have to maintain that. At the same time, you're looking to make your brand younger and accomplishing that with new product. Talk about that, the two different customers you have, because you largely have two different customer groups, I think.
Yeah, and I would argue, we really almost have three groups of customers. We have the boomers, we have, kind of your Gen X, and then we have like these, Gen Z, real young buyers coming in. So it is challenging that you have to be able to balance, right? You don't want to alienate the boomers because we built the Lexus brand on the boomers, right? They are the ones that helped create Lexus. So it's really, again, I think it goes back to Omotenashi of trying to understand, who are you, Jack, and what experience is it that you want? Do you want it to be more digital? Do you want it to be in person? But it really all starts, if you have that philosophy of really trying to see you for who you are and understand what you need, then we can pivot and we can provide either. So we invest in a lot of training for our dealerships, leadership training for sales and service. That's a really key thing because, we also believe that the dealers are our customer, they're our guest. And so, I guess the other thing that we believe is that the guest experience will never exceed the team member experience. So it's a really important philosophy, right? If your dealership team members, if they are, engaged and happy and love what they do, they're going to provide.
And they're making a lot of money for that matter too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, and they do, and by providing good service, providing value. That's why they make money.
By providing value. That's it.
There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, there's a lot right with that.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. What excites you about the business right now? I mean, it's a challenging business. It's a challenging time.
It is.
A lot going on. We have high interest rates. We have, tumult everywhere. Tell us, what you're thinking about this.
There's a lot that excites me. I think it's a really unique kind of moment in time. There are so many things that have changed as we've come out of COVID. I think that accelerated the digital online experience, that customers really demanded that. So it's really exciting to move into that space. I think too, for Lexus, our product has never been better. I mean, it is, and we are seeing the response to that and seeing younger, more multicultural, diverse buyers coming in. And that's a really exciting.
TX has been a godsend, right?
It's been a home run. So, 65% of our TX buyers are first-time Lexus buyers.
Mhm.
And we're seeing showrooms filled with young children because we have this amazing.
Well, a lot of them are
three-row.
coming out of mainstream brands as opposed to
They
luxury
are.
brands,
They
right?
are.
And so that's their first Lexus
Yep.
experience.
Yeah,
right?
and a lot of them it's first luxury experience too.
Mhm.
So and what we're hearing is that they love the experience. They love the experience as much, if maybe not more than the product is. I think they come in for the product and then they're surprised and delighted by the experience. So in GX, we're seeing Range Rover people come in with trades. I mean, it's
And
a different
GX has been
buyer.
around for a long time, but not like this,
Not
right?
like this.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So it's a really exciting time for Lexus, and I think it's now with these new buyers. It's really, I think, that challenger kind of brand mentality that we had of how do we, deliver Omotenashi to this new wave of customers
Right.
and continue to evolve and challenge ourselves.
Let's talk a bit about electrification. You kind of have a toe dip
Yeah.
in a full electric and
Yeah.
battery electric. Just tell us your philosophy, why Lexus is going that direction.
Yeah, so we believe that we are fully committed to electrification, to battery electric, and to carbon neutrality, right? To getting there, to reducing carbon emissions. Lexus was the Toyota, the mothership was the pioneer of hybrid and electrification, going back to the Prius.
Mhm.
And we have had.
My dad had a first gen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So we have had from, going back to the early 2000s, this, strong commitment and made statements about getting to a place of carbon neutrality. We also believe that we want to be able to offer electrification to all consumers, and we want it to be affordable and accessible. And we want to do it in a way that's right for the customer. We want to meet the customer where they are.
Mhm.
So that's why you have not seen us, say that we are all battery electric, because we don't believe that is, we won't be able to have as big of an impact if we offer choices. So we are, very solidly in multi-pathway approach where, we believe that with plug-in hybrid and hybrid vehicles, as well as the toe in the water with battery electric, that we can have a significant impact on that carbon neutrality and reach more customers with vehicles that can make a difference.
Yeah. Well, with the RZ, I think you're taking a step that kind of takes one of the objections out of the picture, right? I mean, talk about that.
Yeah. So RZ is our first fully battery electric vehicle. And when we launched the vehicle, we considered, do we offer complimentary public charging? And that's something that's, many OEMs are offering. And we thought about it and we, thought, okay, with a luxury buyer, they don't really want to be charging their car, at a public station.
Pretty much nobody does.
No one does, exactly, luxury or non-luxury.
Yeah, right.
They like to do it from, the privacy, the convenience of their own home. So we said, what would help though with range anxiety? Knowing that we would have many first-time battery electric Lexus owners that had been waiting. We had customers loyal Lexus owners were waiting for Lexus to come out with the first BEV. So we came up with the idea of Lexus Reserve. And that essentially, we offer all RZ customers 30 days of a Lexus loaner vehicle. So that's over the lifetime of the vehicle. You can come in at any time.
Conventional vehicle, hybrid vehicle,
whatever you want.
Whatever
you want to take, whatever they have in their loaner fleet. So if you want to take an RX hybrid, if you want to go and take like a big, GX or a TX and load up the family, you can take any vehicle you want and you have 30 days. So you could do, 31 day, experiences, or you could take a vehicle for a week and go drive, cross country in it.
Right.
So we think that really helps with kind of overcoming that range anxiety of, well, what if I need a vehicle for that long trip that I do every summer? Well, we have you covered.
Right.
Yeah.
Important stuff.
Yes.
Important stuff. That's been rolled out. How many people are taking advantage of that?
So it's not as many as that's the
But
interesting part.
Many.
It's not as many, and I can get you the specific numbers. It's been enough that and we know that people really enjoy it. You can do it from the convenience of the Lexus app. It's on there. You can go in and book in the days and which vehicle you want to take out from the local dealer. But it's not as many as you would think. So I think
people like their own cars.
They really do. And no one would people don't like moving their stuff into another vehicle. And I think most consumers too, they have a second vehicle, in their garage quite often. And I think maybe the range anxiety that they feared, it hasn't been, what they feared as much, so, yeah.
Well, I think typically your households have multiple vehicles, right?
That's right.
So
They
there are
have the
very
second.
few that are single
That's
battery
right.
electric
That's right.
vehicle household. What else should our listeners know about Lexus these days? The modern Lexus, the Lexus of 2024.
Yeah, I would say, I think Lexus, our DNA of that Omotenashi, that will never change. We have evolved it, as we have, really to understand and to meet the customer where they are. I think the thing that is changing is our product lineup. I would argue is, I think in the best in the industry, and I might be a little bit biased, but we have more 3-row SUVs available now. We really have a full lineup. And I think, experiencing Lexus, it's both the experience our dealers provide and all of the lifestyle benefits through Lexus Care that we offer. So we have culinary partners, we have hotel partners, we have, if you go, to certain sports arenas, there's a Lexus lot that you get whisked away to go, park right up front. We have a lot of benefits and amenities because we believe it's really important to be kind of a lifestyle brand. So we're really excited to be able to offer those things to our guests. And I would say, take a look at Lexus. I think we're not the Lexus that, especially for our younger customers that maybe they experienced 10 years ago if they were riding around in the backseat.
Well, and you're giving people the opportunity to do that in a lot of places, right?
We are. Yeah, I'm so glad you asked, Jack. So we are, we're doing ride and drives at some high-end shopping malls, and you can actually go and get into one of the vehicles. We're at Electrify Expos. So we're really trying to find guests where they are so they don't have to come to us or come to an auto show or into a dealership necessarily. We've been doing some pop-ups. We had one at Fashion Island in Newport Beach that was hugely successful. So, I think keep your eyes open. We're out there and we'd love for you to come and test drive it. And if you stay at one of our 17 hotel properties, they all have Lexus vehicles. You can take a complimentary vehicle for the day. We have some where we actually offer off-roading adventures, and like a Lexus GX, you can really have some fun, or an LX. So
sounds like tons of fun.
It is.
I
think we need to set you up.
It sounds like a ton of fun is going on at Lexus.
Yeah.
Cynthia Tenhouse, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Jack. This is a pleasure.
I'm glad. And stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.